Good morning, Lord. Here I am again, coming to you in the quiet of this new day, carrying the weight of decisions that feel too big for my own understanding. You know my heart better than I know it myself. You see the crossroads I'm standing at, the choices that seem to stretch out before me like different paths through an unfamiliar forest. I need your wisdom today, God. Not just any wisdom, but your perfect, all-seeing wisdom that cuts through confusion and lights up the way forward. I'm thinking about that job opportunity that came out of nowhere last week. The one that would mean uprooting my family, leaving the community we've built, starting over in a place where we don't know a single soul. Part of me is excited by the adventure, the growth it could bring, the financial security it promises, but another part of me is terrified. What if we're making a huge mistake? What if this isn't your plan for us at all? Help me see beyond the immediate appeal of something new and shiny. Show me how to weigh the real costs against the potential benefits. I don't want to be someone who jumps at every opportunity without counting the cost, but I also don't want to be so paralyzed by fear that I miss what you have for me. Teach me to recognize your voice in the midst of all the other voices clamoring for my attention. And it's not just the job decision, Lord. Sarah is 17 now, and college applications are due in just a few months. She's torn between following her passion for art and choosing something more practical, more guaranteed to provide financial stability. How do I guide her when I'm not even sure what wisdom looks like for my own career choices? Give me the words to encourage her dreams while also helping her think realistically about the future. I want to be the kind of parent who helps her discover your unique plan for her life, not someone who projects my own fears and limitations onto her bright future. Lead me in these conversations with her. When she comes to me with her doubts and questions, fill my mouth with wisdom that comes from you, not from my own anxiety about providing for her future. Help me remember that you have plans for her that are good, plans to prosper her and not to harm her, to give her hope and a future, just like you promised in your word. The financial pressures feel overwhelming some days, God. The mortgage payment that seemed manageable 5 years ago now stretches our budget thin every month. The car that's been making that strange noise for weeks, the one we keep hoping will just somehow fix itself because we can't afford the repair bill right now. The retirement account that should be growing but keeps getting smaller every time an unexpected expense comes up. How do we make wise financial decisions when it feels like we're always one emergency away from disaster? Guide me toward financial wisdom that honors you. Show me where we're being wasteful without realizing it, where we could make better choices that would free up resources for the things that truly matter. I don't want to be foolish with money, but I also don't want to become so focused on financial security that I forget to trust in your provision. Teach me the balance between being a wise steward and being generous, between planning for the future and living fully in the present you've given us. There's also Mom to think about. She's getting older, and I can see her struggling with things that used to be easy for her. The house that was once her pride and joy is becoming too much for her to maintain. She's too proud to ask for help, but I can see the exhaustion in her eyes after a day of trying to keep up with yard work and repairs. Do we start the conversation about assisted living? Do we invite her to come live with us? Both options feel impossible for different reasons, but doing nothing feels worse. Give me wisdom in how to love her well during this season of her life. Help me see past my own discomfort with these difficult conversations to what would truly serve her best. I want to honor her independence while also making sure she's safe and cared for. Show me how to approach these topics with grace and sensitivity, how to involve her in decisions about her own future without making her feel like a burden or like she's losing control of her life. The decision about Tom's treatment is weighing heavy on my heart, too. The doctors have given us options, but none of them feel like good options. The surgery comes with serious risks, but so does waiting. How do you make a choice when every path forward feels uncertain? I keep turning it over in my mind, researching online, asking friends about their experiences, but at the end of the day, I know I need your guidance more than any medical journal or well-meaning advice. Speak clearly to us about this, Lord. Cut through the medical jargon and the statistics and the what-ifs to show us the path that leads to healing and wholeness. Give the doctors wisdom as they guide us through these decisions. Help us ask the right questions and understand the answers we're given. Most of all, remind us that you are the great physician, that no matter which treatment option we choose, our ultimate hope is in your power to heal and restore. I'm praying for wisdom in the smaller decisions too, the ones that might not seem as momentous, but shape our daily life in important ways. How we spend our evenings as a family, whether to say yes to that volunteer opportunity at church that I know would stretch me thin, but might be exactly where you want me to serve. How to respond to the neighbor who seems to create drama wherever he goes, but who I know is struggling with his own pain and loneliness. Show me how to be wise in my relationships, God, when to speak up and when to stay quiet, when to offer help and when to step back and let people figure things out for themselves. I don't want to be someone who avoids difficult conversations, but I also don't want to be unnecessarily confrontational. Give me discernment to know the difference between healthy boundaries and selfish withdrawal. The political climate feels so divided, so angry. Everyone seems certain they're right, and everyone else is dangerously wrong. How do I engage wisely with issues that matter deeply to me without getting caught up in the kind of toxic arguing that seems to poison everything it touches? I want to be informed and involved, but I also want to be someone who brings peace rather than adding to the division. Help me think clearly about these complex issues, to see past the sound bites and the social media outrage to what's really at stake. Give me wisdom to know how to use my voice and my vote in ways that reflect your heart for justice and mercy. When I'm in conversations about these things, let my words be seasoned with grace, even when I disagree strongly with what I'm hearing. There are times when I wonder if I'm overthinking everything, if I'm making life more complicated than it needs to be. Maybe some of these decisions aren't as critical as they feel in my mind, but then other times I feel like I'm not taking things seriously enough, like I'm being casual about choices that will impact not just me but everyone I love. Teach me to hold these decisions with the right kind of seriousness, Lord. Important enough to pray about and seek counsel, but not so weighty that they crush me with anxiety. Remind me that you are big enough to work through my imperfect choices, that even when I make mistakes, you can weave them into something good. I think about young King Solomon when he could have asked you for anything and chose wisdom instead of wealth or power or fame. I want to have that same hunger for wisdom, that recognition that without your guidance, all my other blessings don't mean much. Give me a heart like Solomon's, one that values your wisdom above everything else this world has to offer. But I also remember that Solomon, despite all his wisdom, still made some terrible choices later in his life. That reminds me that wisdom isn't a one-time gift, but something I need to seek fresh from you every day. I can't coast on yesterday's insights when facing today's decisions. I need your wisdom to be new every morning, like your mercies that never fail. These major decisions feel like they're all connected somehow, like they're part of a larger story you're writing in my life. The job opportunity affects where we live, which affects Mom's care, which affects Sarah's college choices, which affects our finances, which affects everything else. Sometimes it feels overwhelming to think about how one choice ripples out into every other area of life. Give me the ability to see the bigger picture without losing sight of the immediate next step. I don't need to figure out the entire future all at once. I just need to know what you're calling me to do today, this week, this month. Help me trust you with the longer-term consequences of today's choices. I'm grateful that I don't have to figure any of this out on my own. Your word promises that if I ask for wisdom, you'll give it generously without finding fault with my questions. You don't roll your eyes at my uncertainty or get impatient with my need to ask the same questions multiple times. You welcome my dependence on your guidance. So I'm asking now, Lord, pour out your wisdom on these decisions. Make the path clear. Open doors that should be opened and close doors that should stay closed. Give me peace about the choices I need to make and courage to act on what you show me. Help me remember that wisdom isn't just about making the right choices, but about trusting you with the outcomes of those choices. Even wise decisions sometimes lead to unexpected challenges. Even when I seek your guidance and follow it as best I can, life doesn't always unfold the way I hoped it would. Teach me to hold my plans lightly, to be willing to change course when you redirect my path. I want to be someone who makes decisions thoughtfully and prayerfully, but who isn't so attached to my own planning that I can't hear when you're calling me in a different direction. As this day begins, I'm placing all these decisions in your hands. The big ones and the small ones, the urgent ones, and the ones that can wait a little longer. I trust that you care about every detail of my life, that nothing is too small for your attention or too big for your power. Fill me with your peace as I move forward. Let that peace be my guide, especially when circumstances are uncertain and emotions are running high. When I start to feel overwhelmed by all the choices in front of me, remind me to come back to this quiet place with you, to this conversation we're having right now. Thank you for being the kind of God who wants to be involved in the details of my life. Thank you for caring about my job and my family and my finances and my relationships. Thank you for not leaving me to stumble through these decisions alone. I love you, Lord, and I trust you with everything that's ahead. Amen. If this prayer resonated with your heart this morning, I'd love for you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's build a community of people who are seeking God's wisdom together for the decisions we're all facing. God bless you today.